Hello and a long warm welcome back to all the viewers from across the world on our channel. Today we're going to have a look at some student games and here's the first one. We can see it was a pretty topsy-turvy game based on the bar below, so it's going to be interesting. The student is black and it's a regular solid opening. I like Queen F6 here. It may not consider, but I think it's pretty decent. It's all okay. No big deals either which way here. Castling? Question mark. Huh. Oh yeah. Oh, or wait a second. Wait a second. It's suggesting you should kill it so that it just becomes balanced. Because from castling, the problem is, what was the problem again? Queen comes here and you come in there. Oh, bishop snap. Whoa. That's the problem. Wow, that's a tough one. A tough one indeed, my sir. All right. That's an awkward defense. This is an awkward defense. Clearly now it is a good time to take off the queen. Now the pressure is starting to build on your position. You have castled queenside. Yeah. Well, this is generally a weakening move. You're creating a lot of holes in your position, and they're going to get exploited eventually. Knight can hop in here. All right. Yeah, so now what you have is a lot of light square weaknesses, okay? These bishops and everything can just ruin these light squares. It's important that you take this bishop off, but at the same time, you don't want to activate the rook. So it's a bit of a catch-23 here at the moment. I understand. And now I like the look of this move for white. I think it's trying to strike when the iron is hot, but the computer gives a question mark to it because there must be some reasonable counterplay. And well, I guess this is decent. Yeah, defense pawn, defense pawn. Not bad, not bad. Well found. And he jumped right into the trap like a. Yeah, that was silly. You should take it with the rook here, I think. But maybe not. Maybe bishop is fine. Actually, bishop is very confident. That's what it is. And now you've got to watch out for the queen invasion. And well done. That's a good move too. That's a great move. This I'm not so happy about. You never want to like clump up these pieces on here, but it's okay. Right, there was a free pawn. Okay, it wasn't seen. But this is what I mean. You see the pressure is starting to build, and now... What a strike back! That's what I'm talking about. Look at that! You want to fight fire with me? I'll fight fire back with you. Okay. Wow. This is chess, man. This is chess. And he blundered. That was such an amateur blunder, man. Like bringing his king to defend the bishop by catching it's just silly. He had a chance here to even the game, but he missed it, and now it's gonna be an easy win. But you never know. You never know. These are amateurs. Yeah, keep the rook active. Just keep eating. Don't try to hold on to your McKenna's gold. Just keep eating. That's generally a good idea. Yeah, not the best. Not the best at all, man. Not the best at all. What was the pressure situation? Okay, it was a little low on time. Got a little bit panicky. A little bit panicky. Blunder. And he catches it. Wow, what a game. What a topsy-turvy game. I hope you all have enjoyed this one. Certainly, I enjoyed it. Good clinical finish. Yeah. What do we make of this blunder? I mean, I guess there's not much to say other than time management. So let's move on to the next game. Next game, you can see a pretty decent performance, 80%. 80% is quite remarkable, I would say. 1700 level play. So this is going to be a hell of a game from our 1200 level student, who, by the way, last month was just 1100. And yeah, so if you want to sign up for the coaching classes and become a better player, you can see evidence before your eyes right here of improvement. But other than that, well, it's just a rotten game in many ways, isn't it? Rotten game, rotten game. And this, uh, you know what? No, we're not gonna let this slip on by. All right. I understand you're using your intuition to be safe, but you gotta be precise more important than being safe. Okay? Uh, try to be precise. Let's see if you captured it. He captured it. What can he do next? Well, there is counterplay for him. He does. Maybe your instincts on this were not too bad in retrospect. Okay. The only thing is this really looks bad, like a lot of pieces coming in for you here. So it's quite scary. Quite scary, and I honestly don't know what to make of the position. Except that this is way ambitious, really, really ambitious play. I mean, the guy's got to think he's a GM, a real GM here. Mm. This okay. How did that? Okay. A lot of double-edged stuff going on here in the position. And I think finally that's the final nail in the coffin there. There's not much else to worry about now. Yeah. Okay. Decent game. Not sure where to point to, but yeah, it was alright. Okay, next game. Next game has an even higher performance. I mean, we see 83% from both sides, 1800 level play. This is going to be one of the high rated games of the 4 game series that we're going to explore today. And what we see is a fairly solid opening. Good trades. I mean, goodish trades. I don't know if this is necessarily the best here, but because it does force you to now have to worry about this. But maybe that you didn't care about that anyway, because it wasn't something you actually had to worry about, because you had the counterplay idea to come here. And even if he gets this next, you control the 7th rank, and therefore your chances of running amok here are significant. So, well, one can argue this is tremendous play. Not so much about this move. I'm afraid when you started out like a GM, you ended up, you know, you lost the GM card now after you did that. Understandable. Whenever you see a weak shit move like this, you've got to now strike. Strike when the iron is hot. There's got to be a chance here. Okay, that was a pretty good move. I guess that's a good move. Hmm. So it's an even position here. And both sides are trying hard. And really, I like this move, really taking advantage of that back rank motif. But is there really one on the cards here? Is there really a back rank motif? I mean, what happens if he captures here? what actually happens then? Because you can do check and he can just come back, right? What's the big deal? We got to look at this in a bit more detail. After rook c8, if he plays rook takes, you have rook check, and he's got knight back, and then you have queen c7. Okay, it's a great move. Rook check, king up, queen d3 check, knight e4, rook b5. It's an interesting evaluation of the position because, for my money, well, it's a really long-term advantage, long-term pressure with the prospect of eventually bringing a knight here, maybe? Let's see. So computers even suggesting queen c4 here, force the trade of queens, and then when f3 comes, you go knight d2 and you finally get your money's worth. You finally get your money's worth. That's the whole shebang there. It's a really, really long-winded one. Interesting position. Okay. Uh, let's go back to the review view. Very balanced end game position here. Sneaky little trick, reasonably well defended. Oh, and that's a blunder because it's a losing endgame. You gotta know your endgames before you dive into it. Apparently there were better options, like coming in here and just going for the kill. It's apparently better. But I guess this is a losing endgame because I don't know. It's just an easier position for black to convert, I believe. Yeah. But there is a blunder here, which I wouldn't have expected that the king move is a blunder. So there's a tactical thing at play here, maybe. Yeah, the tactical thing that you come here. What's the tactical thing? It's complicated. You come out there, you take the pawn, but if he didn't come up, if he just went down here instead, then you have knight check, which yeah, you win a knight basically in the equation because you have knight check, and he can't capture because you will queen with check, and then you'll be able to come here and stop the pawn. If you knight check and he just moves forward, then you kill this. Then he makes a queen, or gets close to making a queen, and then you make a queen. So you're still up. Something like that. Something like that. Maybe you have to do another knight check intermediary and then queen. Yeah. It's complicated, but very interesting. Okay. We're slightly starting to run low on time here. So let's just see this final position. Yeah, that's a zinger. A good zinger to seal the deal there. And chip with the little pawns. Very good. Very good. There's not much else to see here. Whoa, I spoke too soon. I spoke way too soon there. Okay. Yeah, you don't want to get your knight in front of this. Knight here is so strong. It's so strong. I honestly think pawn here looks pretty good here, but what's the problem with it? Knight here is good because it defends this pawn and enables this to eventually come through, which he pretty much will have to do since he doesn't have any other good moves. He can move here though. Let's check it out. And computer will never know how to play in these positions, so let's ignore them. But all right, this is a blunder, simply put. Simply put, and it's a game drawing blunder. Now, when this situation happens, you've just got to accept the fact that it's going to be a draw. Don't go on tilt. Don't try to. This is common. It's common that people they just refuse to accept the draw then. But all right, thank you, and stay tuned for more. Cheers.